it is, I know there are tons of persons who have an issue with the whole cashless point. And there are many, Brother Wayne, who claim that it is the mark of the beast coming from it and whatever. But when you have to be going into Kingston, to be doing business in Tamernell, and you're going to have to go travel with X amount of cash, you put yourself and others at risk. Yes. So why not just go with a card? As a matter of fact, you don't even need the card. All I need is my phone. And you can just transfer from one point to another point and you're out of here. So you can start your house and do all of these things. So it's just technology. We were behind a long time ago, and now there's development. I don't think there are persons who are against it, as I said, in the Adventist church. But we are saying that if Jesus was here today, I don't think Jesus would want to be walking up and down over the entire place. He would still be going. Roots of restlessness. That's our lesson for quickly. We just have 2 minutes to spend with this. For where jealousy, the memory text says, for where jealousy and selfish ambition exist, there will be disorder and every vile practice. James 3:16. For where jealousy and jealousy and selfish ambition exist, there will be disorder, and every vile practice. So if we become corrupt, everything starts to happen. Selfish ambition, when we start thinking about just ourselves alone, then we find ourselves in trouble. So we are looking at the roots of restlessness. What bring about restlessness? And that's what we are studying this week. Aspens are beautiful trees reaching 45 to 90 feet in height. They thrive in cold climates with cool summers. Their wood is used in furniture and also for making matches and paper. Deer and other animals often feed on young aspen trees during hard winters, as their bark contains many nutrients. Aspens need lots of sunshine, and they grow all the time, even in winter, making them important winter food sources for different animals. Aspens, however, are most notorious for the fact that they have one of the largest root systems in the plant world. The roots spread by underground suckers and form a colony that can spread relatively quickly, covering large areas. Individual aspen trees can live up to 150 years, but the larger organism below the ground can live for thousands of years. In this week's study, we want to discover some of the roots of our restlessness. There are many things that can prevent us from finding true rest in Jesus. Some of these are obvious and don't require much attention. Others may be less obvious to us. And as with the huge aspen organism unseen beneath the ground, we may not always be conscious of the attitudes and actions that separate us from our Savior. You know, we grew up in a farming community, all of us here. Well, yeah. Especially with vegetables. I always say, Brother Wayne, that it is not the big worm that poses the damage. Because sometimes you see the big worms and you can just take your hand and pick off the big worm. But sometimes if you look under the back of especially cauliflower and broccoli, yeah, well, this one is deadly because that one is inside. You can't see it. But if you turn over those leaves and look behind their staminal, you see some leaves, some very, very tiny worm that they call what? Tin worm. You can hardly see them, but they are even far more dangerous than the big ones. Now, I always say that in the church, it is not so much the big problems in the church that create the problem some of the time. It's some little ones that you can hardly see. They just stay there and festa till when you look. The whole church just festered with it. And the Holy Spirit have to be working with us to identify. But you know what I know? There's one thing I know is that I know my problem. I might not know yours, Tasharan, but I know mine. You know yours. Now let's start with the man in the mirror. Start with the man in the mirror. Just like the disciples when they were sitting at the table and the question was asked, everybody start to ask, is it I? Well, turn the searchlight within. Is it I? And if you know that you are living aright, and I know that I am living aright, what a church we will have. We can't root the devil out of the church, We can't get him out. He is going to come. Because as one person puts it, that he takes his seat in church every Sabbath. But we can shut him out of our hearts. So let us, as we go through this week, we'll identify these roots of restlessness, the things that cause us to become restless. And when you become restless, you twist and toss and you turn. No matter how you try to sleep, you can't get no sleep. There's no peace. There's no rest. And it is going to stay there until you develop all different kind of illnesses. You develop depression, high blood pressure, cholesterol problems start, stomach problems start, obesity, arthritis, all of these start to overtake the body. So let us, brethren, let us find out what is it that causes our restlessness. Yes, Sister Myrna. Yes. Mm-hmm. Go search your machine. So that's a very good. So you see what I mean, and that create any amount of restlessness. So you and your mind cannot find rest until you find what you're looking for, or you'd have to come to the conclusion that well the machines are gone and that is it. Yes, but let us, as I said, Bridget, let us get there, by the grace of God. Sometimes I heard, is it Sister Listen or somebody was giving, some experience that when you finish studying some courses, I think Sister Listen used that she even have nightmare after she finished study.